What's up, everyone? It's Where the Keys At podcast. My name is Eli, and it's lockdown announcement week, so we've got a special podcast this week. Over the other side today, I got with me
Tezza T,
your boy Leroy.
That's it, in the house. So let's start with podcast, because with lockdown, because by the time people see this podcast, we're probably going to be locked down already.
Damn right.
So it's Sunday right now. Boris Johnson just announced yesterday that we're locking down for
4 weeks.
4 weeks at least.
At least.
boy.
Locking down again. How do you feel about it, Ricky?
How do I feel about it? Let me actually, you know, let me just play you something, man. Let me just play you something. This how I feel about it. Yeah, this how I feel about it still.
For YouTube blockers.
It's a big conspiracy, yeah? It's a big conspiracy. That's my views on it. Lee?
Yeah, I don't know, it's hard. I don't think it's, I've said it before, I don't know if it's all that it's made up to be. Like me personally, I don't know anyone who's had COVID.
Nope.
But these stats are saying that a whole heap of people are getting COVID again. So it's hard.
Did you watch the announcement?
Yeah, I watched it. Well, I watched a bit of it and then I had to put the babe to bed. But it's crazy. Like I don't know how to look. If it didn't help last time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or they're saying it did help, but then when we come out of lockdown, it just spiraled up.
Well,
like, why didn't they just
They've done
keep...
an eat out to help out thing, didn't they?
Of course, they've done... And
Apparently that sparked it 17%. The eat out to help out sparked COVID 17%.
But Eli, if it's such a big thing, why are they giving you until Thursday? Why? Why are they giving you an extra 4 days?
Because they're nice.
They're stupid. Just say from... Do you know what they should have said? From Monday.
Yeah.
From right, we're telling you, they told us Saturday, they should have said, right, from Sunday at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So Monday morning, done, lockdown.
The thing is, I don't think they can put it through that quick. I think he was saying they got to go to Parliament, then they got to vote on it, and by Wednesday, and then it officially will happen Thursday. So
vote on what though?
Everyone's got to agree. Like he can't.
So what if they don't all agree? So what I'm saying is, what if they don't all agree? Does that mean we don't go into lockdown?
I don't know, but particularly.
That's what I'm saying.
They will all agree.
Yeah, but that's why I'm. So what's the point? Surely they should have. They should have had this. They shouldn't be waiting until we'll have meetings with our scientists and who this person on Saturday, and then we're gonna announce to the public that we're gonna probably lock down on Thursday.
Yeah.
Surely they shouldn't have talked about this last week and the week before.
Yeah. Did you watch it as well, T?
Yeah, I watched it, but like you're hearing certain things. So you're hearing, okay, you can go to work. Then you're hearing education providers or schools will still be open. Non-essential shops will be open.
Non-essential?
Yeah, and then they're saying essential shops only. Like, it doesn't make no sense. For me, it seems like they're just trying to stop people socialising. It's like, yeah, go to work, go to school, come back home, stay in. Like, there's no real...
I don't understand, though, what it's all about. What's the end goal? If they're pushing this agenda, what is the end goal?
I don't know.
Money?
Well, how are they getting more money?
They're not. They're spending more money.
Are they?
They're extending the furlough again.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're always in their pockets. No one, and the government don't want no one to be like free. Like that's why, like when you turn 18, you turn like credit cards come to your door, financing your cars, you know, getting mortgages, store cards, all that sort of stuff. I remember when I turned 18, I had bare leaflets coming through my door, like knowing that I turned 18.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them people that. But I get leaflets coming through the door, and not just me, but other people that I knew. Got top man cards, they got credit cards, they got all these store cards, and they're like, yeah, and we were balling, weren't you? You were balling back then, but actually you had to pay that back. Everyone's doing, you know, what's it, the old check-in, track and trace and all that kind of stuff. Everyone's on that. Listen, I don't scan none. I'll be real.
I had to scan.
I don't do it. I pretend. I get my phone out. I'll put the camera up on the thing, and I pretend I've done it. I don't scan it.
I've only done it once for my son for football. No, I don't. But the man was standing there and he's like, "You can't come in unless you scan." And I was like, "What?"
I fake that.
You can't come and play.
I fake that. Or I ain't got a mobile phone or something like that. I ain't doing that. And then when they say write it down, I write down the fake name, fake number. Like they know where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Why don't you want to be traced?
Because I think it's a big conspiracy. I just don't. trust.
If you get COVID or someone around you gets COVID, would you not want to know?
I want to know, but I don't think COVID is as bad as what they make it out to be. That's just my personal view on it. I've got friends, like Lee said earlier on, he don't know no one has had COVID. I now know 2 people who's got COVID. Who's had COVID, should I say. But that was all a bit suspect because this person had COVID. Yeah. Or no, this person had a test and he lives with his parent. Yeah. And his parent had the test. They came back negative. Yeah. And he came back positive.
Right.
Yeah. And then
I thought this is meant to spread really easy.
Well, put it this way, his mum came back negative, and he put his test for her. Sorry, yeah. He came back. His test took ages to come back. What
I'm concerned about is how we're going to come out of lockdown. Because they had that little Gove guy, the little hamster-looking one.
Yeah.
On Andrew Marr today, and he was saying, are we coming out on the 2nd of December? And he wouldn't give an answer. He wouldn't give an answer. And he was going, does this depend on the R number? And go. He wouldn't give him an answer. He kept pushing him in different ways. And he just kept saying, well, we hope to, we look to, and we expect to. But
they ain't coming out in December, bro.
We'll follow.
That's a lockdown.
It's Germany and France, isn't it?
They're in lockdown now.
But they're only to the 1st of December.
Yeah.
So the number that he threw out is basically, for me, is just you're basically going alongside what they've done, innit? So if they come out okay and their numbers drop, we then follow suit. That's kind of, that's kind of the way that
it's been anyway. Yeah. We were the last ones to go into lockdown.
Yeah.
Even though the virus is so serious.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, because other people are going into lockdown, he's like, right, we can't be the last this time. Let's just lock it down. I honestly don't think they've got a grip on it at all. I don't think they've got a grip on it at all.
And then you hear people saying, well, we're not going to grip on it until we get a vaccine. And I'm like,
what they're going to do is they're going to make us so frustrated by being at home, not being able to make money, not being able to go to school eventually, not being able to see your mum, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, that you're going to beg for a vaccine. Yep. And when I say you, I don't mean us, but the majority are going to beg for a vaccine. Yep. And all they need is for the public opinion to switch and 70% of people to say, oh, we want a vaccine. We'll
take a vaccine just so we can get back to normal life.
Through law, they can't pass that and make it mandatory. They want people to agree.
They won't make it mandatory.
No. People have to agree to it, but if they can brainwash you enough and make you think that it is what it is, people will want that in order to just live normal life.
I won't make it mandatory to you, Roy, but if you want to go and buy food at Sainsbury's, then you need to have it.
That's what they'll say. Yeah, that's exactly what they'll say. That's what they'll say.
Yeah, that's not mandatory.
Well, I guess I won't be shopping at Sainsbury's. Send the places there.
They'll give you like a card or something to say, "I've had the vaccine. I'm safe." So it won't be mandatory, but you got to show to get into this place. You know what's gonna happen, bruv.
My girl can have the vaccine then.
Take her card. Take the card.
I'm taking that vaccine. I'll tell you that now.
You see in Fog Life, people taking people's card, boy.
Surely, if one person per household had the vaccine, then would that be safe then?
No, because the other people can still get it.
Yeah, but the person with the vaccine can't get it.
Yeah, but that's not the other people in the household. Only one person would be safe. They'd want the whole household to have the vaccine.
COVID. It's.
A part of me wants to believe it. A part of me wants to believe. The government are trying to help things, but it doesn't make no sense. Every time there's a big announcement, it's always 3 or 4 days later we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Bro, if it's that serious, lock me down today, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
If you think it's that serious that a lot of people are going to die from this, that's what they talk about. The death rate is going to go high.
Yeah.
Why are you giving 5 days for people to just get the thing and die off then?
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, you lot like football, right? I'm going back to Boris Johnson's announcement. Do you see what he talked about in the Premier League?
No, I missed that part.
So one of the questions, this vexed me because I'm not really a football person, but one of the questions came from one of the people, maybe BBC, and they said, what about the Premier League? He jumped in. He was so excited. He jumped in. Yeah, I could definitely say it's a go for the Premier League. And he was happy. And I thought, hold on. You've just told us that we can't go to regular shops. We can't go visit our family. But Premier League's a go. Why is Premier League a go?
Money. They make money from that.
It's so blatant now. It's crazy. It's so blatant on this channel.
But the saying is money makes the world go round. So in order to, the Premier League brings in...
Who for?
Stupid amount.
Well,
TV, government.
Who does he know? Who do these government know that are making they must have people that are making money off of this.
Of course they are.
It's all about their circle.
It's all about their circle is the media, is it's sports development companies, it's everything. Like it's bigger than like when people think football, I think someone owns a football club and that's it. It's not. The football club have to get certain legislation, certain laws, certain things. So they probably have to dictate their rules and their regulations to the parliament. The parliament then do so everyone gets it's like a big cake in it. And there's a slice for everyone. It's a slice for everyone. Everyone benefits from it. It's one of those things. So the forefront is okay. Someone owns that company, but that company still has to pay taxes. Still has to go through laws. Of course they are.
There's local governors and all that. They're lobbying for whatever.
Of course they are.
It's crazy. I don't appreciate that at all right now.
But that's in every sport, isn't it? That's in every sport. That's like in every single sport.
I never thought this could happen. You see all the films all the time about all this control and whatnot. It still doesn't feel like it's actually happening.
I was thinking the other day, like, I can't remember the last day that things were normal. I was trying to think the other day. I was speaking to my cousin the other day. And I can't remember. Like, last time I went out normally and there wasn't, like, no face masks, there was no sanitizers, and there was none. I can't remember what day it was.
They can't actually stop you from going in a shop and wearing a mask.
No.
Can't they stop you from going on their property though?
No.
Surely they can. They've got right.
I was in the supermarket.
It's not law though, is it?
I was in the supermarket the other day, and two people were arguing. This old man started arguing, cussing at this woman because she didn't have a mask on.
Right.
Yeah. You shouldn't be in here. You ain't got a mask on. You ain't got a mask on. Said to the people in the shop, why have you let her in? Rah, rah, rah. The woman turned around and said, yeah, but old man, you ain't got a mask on. So how you gonna moan at me for not having a mask?
There, yeah?
No, the old man was a customer.
Huh?
Yeah. This old man.
What's he cussing about then?
I don't know. But then the shop worker turned around and said, yeah, but the masks aren't mandatory. We cannot stop you from coming in and doing your shopping, regardless.
Yeah.
It's advisory. We advise you and we would like you to wear a mask, but if you don't wear one, we can't stop you from coming in. It's not law.
Certain supermarkets have signs where they say we can't police this sort of thing because they don't want the hassle. But for me, I look at it and I think that lady or that bloke is just doing their job. So for me to go in there and be like, I wear my mask, and they have to come up to me and
they don't really
believe in it. Yeah. But to cause that confrontation, then you then start cussing that person, then the police get called, and it's just like, is it really worth the risk? Just wear your mask just to keep the peace.
But that's the system that they've put in place working. That's the system. It's the guilt complex that we have. We want to look after each other because we naturally herds, and we want to make sure everyone's okay. And they know that. They're playing on that. They don't want to make sure everyone's okay.
Listen, if everyone else is wearing a mask in that shop and I'm wearing my mask, I ain't affecting it because they're wearing their mask in it. Yeah. So the only person
they say the mask is meant to protect
you spreading it, innit?
You spreading it,
but you got to have it to spread it.
Yeah. I didn't realise that this country had so many people who are essentially alcoholics. As soon as they mention the pubs, people get so upset.
Yeah, man.
To the point that Boris Johnson has to mention pubs as a thing that we're talking about. Like, I'm sure there's more people that are members of gyms or I don't know, other types of clubs than there are people who regularly go pubs.
I don't think
there's so much power in alcohol in this country.
I think as a country, I think we socialise a lot more than we see.
I think.
Yeah, I would say
we are. We do.
How is pubs at the top of the agenda when the Prime Minister talks?
Because I think a lot of people socialise. I think if you either go to a pub or you go to a restaurant, if you don't, a lot of people will sit at home and watch football or watch their soap with a beer or a bottle of wine with their dinner and stuff like that. I'm guilty of it myself. People just smoke just for the sake of it, not because they enjoy it. It's just a social thing, isn't it? And I think the alcohol is the same sort of. If you speak to your boys. You don't go, let's meet up and let's go to a theme park.
Yeah.
Is it? You meet up and you go, okay, we'll meet for lunch and then we'll have a drink or we'll meet at this bar. Like the first thing on our head is the social music, alcohol, food. That is what we are. That's what we do the most.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, but it is like we rely on that quite a lot, don't we? I think.
Yeah. Spend a lot of money.
We spend a lot of money, and that's probably and I reckon food and alcohol is probably the biggest income for this country. I think the population is high. I think I'd like to even go and say that I think 80% of our population relies on fast food restaurants and takeaway.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Big number,
I believe it's that. I believe
relies on it.
Relies on it. I think that to shut your children up, or to when you finish your work, or you're taking them to football, you take them to football, you take them to gymnastics, whatever it is. It's like, oh, the gymnastics at 6 to 7 or 5 to whatever, and it's like, oh, you know what? You finish there. They're not looking to go home and cook a 3-course meal or a meal. It's like, oh, go for the drive-through, McDonald's, shut the kid up.
Yeah,
that's true though. I hear that. I do.
Shut the kid up.
Shut the kid up. And I think a lot of people live by that. Like,
that's mad.
When have you ever gone to a McDonald's and it's not been ran? Drive-through, KFC, whatever, Subway. When you're not going through that, and like people are queuing up to get food.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, we didn't eat. Well, there weren't as many in Ipswich. I can remember there weren't no fast food you could get.
There was only Burger King, innit?
There's one Burger King.
Yeah, there was one Burger King.
Yep. After towns closed, there was nothing. We had Wimpy and Burger King.
Wimpy and Burger King.
And then we had the KFC, and that was the KFC up
Felixstowe Road. That's anyone.
Yeah. And I remember when we could have KFC, boy, you were lucky. And my parents would make sure you know you're lucky getting this. Do you know what I mean? It ain't like for a lot of children now. It's not a luxury.
It's not a thing.
It's just a formality. It's regular.
Nothing. Like, they expect that every day.
But are the parents bad parents for that? Or are they just a victim of the way things are now
society,
in terms of structure of
society? How the things
I think we're a victim of it.
Because our parents weren't.
And I think because it's in your face and it's broadcasted and it's there, I think it's just...
And also how many adverts are on TV now.
Yeah.
For fast food.
It's just out there, innit?
Everything
like, it's just the norm. Like, I remember one day I said to my kids and that, like, we said we're going to go out for a meal. I was like, we'll go for a meal. You can go anywhere you want to go. Like, we'll go somewhere, you go anywhere you want to go and that. And then 2 of them said McDonald's.
Yeah.
And I was like, if my parents had said that to me, boy, I would have picked, like, I don't know, maybe like a Chinese or something nice restaurant. And they said McDonald's, and I just thought that's the way the world is. Like,
McDonald's is nice food for them.
Yeah, McDonald's, KFC.
Putting in a burger, boy.
Those things there was just it's just so easy. Like an addictive personality. It's a bit like how there's so many Costas now and home, so many Starbucks. Everyone loves coffee.
Kids, they got a coffee place in the high school my son goes to. Yeah. They got a coffee place in the high school.
Kids are drinking cold coffees and
what?
No, and that.
Iced
teas and that, nice coffees.
Because of lockdown, it's not open, but he's like they've got it's a brand. It might be Costa, but they've got one in college, in school.
In the high school.
Yeah. In the high school.
Yep.
These kids, these kids are rich, bruv. We had one little fruit, one machine in the thing, man. Everyone was queuing up to get to the machine back in the day. If we have tuck shop as well.
We never had. I don't think we had vending machine. I can't remember.
I had vending machine when I was at Copleston.
No, we didn't. What do we? We didn't get that.
Because that would have got beat up. That's why.
We didn't get that, man. We didn't get none of the vending machines.
That machine would have got robbed enough time.
The only vending machine you had was against Sports Centre. That's it. That's
Sports Centre.
Get none where we was, boy.
So as a generation, T-Roy, you got me onto this now. Are we worse parents than the last generation? Because we're giving in. We're giving in a lot more.
Do you know what? I think I would like to answer. I think we are.
I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we are. I think.
Why is it that?
I think me as a parent, I guess I never wanted my children to go through what I went through as a child.
I always hear people say that all the time.
Yeah.
So I want my kids to have what I never had.
But I wish they did go through what I went through. Like I said the other day,
so they know how tough. You know what I mean?
So they know how tough it is. Like there's no discipline, there's no respect. The rules are now not really there. But then it's like you knew what you went through, so you try and do better. But you try to force some of those things that you went through.
Yeah, of course.
But then you still have that soft side of things where it's just
it's horrible. It's horrible, man. It's a good topic for us to talk about, man, because like we all grew up and we all got licks. Let's be real. We got licks.
I don't tell my kids, what do you want for dinner tonight? Like they might have a choice maybe once in a while, but they ain't. What are we gonna do this weekend?
Nah.
It's like you said with the McDonald's. If you ask your kid what they want, they only know about 2 or 3 things because they're children. They haven't seen the world, so you've got to start showing your kids the world, the boundaries, the rules, the options.
I hear that. Yeah.
And then sometimes have some leeway, but I feel like a lot of parents for some reason want to be their kid's best friend at the moment.
Yeah, but do you think it's the way you brought up? Because I have this little debate in with my family. So I am.
hard,
Very, I'm very much like, okay, if anyone comes to my house, yeah, and you want a drink, there'll be 4 or 5 different options. Yeah, so there'll be like, I don't know, say like apple juice, orange juice.
Yeah.
I don't have fizz in my house anyway, or whatever. Yeah, squash in that. Yeah, and you got an option. Now, I've got children who were like, they were like, I want apple juice. We ain't got the apple juice.
Yeah.
And then they want to have a drink. Me personally, you either drink what we got, or you have nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas my partner, she may go to the shop and go and buy them the drink that they want.
Nah, bro.
And I don't roll like that.
Nah,
I never had no option. Like,
Nah, bro.
and even if I didn't like that food, I had to sit at the table and eat it until it was gone. Like I remember I used to hate cornmeal. Oh my gosh! But my nana, I used to sit there with my nana and I had to yam cornmeal and pigfoot.
Oh.
And I didn't even like them kind of things there back then, bro. But I had to eat it, bro. Like I had to sit there and like it was deep. Like my kids all like I wasn't allowed a drink with my food. Till my food was done.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, for the juice.
Yep.
So I said,
I know one of our people who lived with his grandma for a while, and they weren't allowed to flush the toilet till the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? That was discipline.
That deep.
Because saving
Too much
energy
water.
or too much water.
You not the
whatever.
water.
So imagine trying to impose something similar to that on a child. I mean,
Nowadays.
It's
what happened,
They couldn't live with it.
That's why the world.
You have to wash
the way
your own
it
plate
is.
up when you finish your food.
That's why the world is the way it is, bro. People are
What to
reckless.
do that when you finish your food? I have to wash your own plate up.
But what's going wrong? I don't understand.
Soft. The world's gone soft.
But then you've got different kids, right? I'm sure, Leroy, you've got a few kids. More than a few kids. They're not all the same, right?
That's cool, man.
I've got one.
Only me, yeah. Just me, yeah.
Just you, man.
Just me, yeah.
Just me, right, yeah.
1, 2, 3. That's like kids, isn't it? But I don't treat. You tailor it. I don't treat my son the way I treat my daughter. I think I'm a bit. In certain situations, I change it up, and so.
I'm harder on my older kids because they get into a stage where they now need to realise you can't be a kid forever. You got to grow up.
Yeah.
You got to start learning things properly. So yeah, of course I tailor the way I parent to my kids.
Your kids have got to learn to be independent. They've got to learn to be able to make choices, to save money, to understand value of things and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So they can, when they get something good, they realise it's good. And they don't just dash it away. Do you know what I mean? So when they're 18 or 19, they want to get out of the house because they want that freedom. If they've got everything already at home,
that's the problem. Like we never had the opportunity.
We never
Whereas,
wanted
like for instance, the children have everything. They've got options. When you've got options, you don't appreciate nothing. Of
course it is.
You don't appreciate nothing. So my children right now is like, they could go and bust up their trainers.
Yeah.
And know that, and know that they're probably getting another pair coming. Whereas I got for my birthday and Christmas,
One pair.
I got one present. I had to say what I wanted, so there'd be like one computer game or one pair of trainers, and that had the last minute. I got 2 presents each year: Christmas, birthday. That's it. I didn't get anything else.
What was your worst ever Christmas? Like that'd be a good podcast.
I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything. Like, listen, I didn't get nothing. Eli, when I came to stockings, I found out about stocking when I got with my girl.
Yeah, no. The reason you had a bad Christmas wasn't because your parents were trying to teach you a lesson. It was because they weren't about to get in debt so that you could have what you wanted, what you thought you wanted.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
But parents will get in debt nowadays in order to give their children everything that they want.
I hear that.
Get paper. Paper round is £30.
I've been telling
a week
my
now.
£30 a week.
Paper round is £30 a week now, Eli.
They get
I told him to get paper round.
I don't even think they existed anymore.
He said to me,
not everywhere though, but
he said to me, I don't want no paper round.
When you need the money, you're more motivated to go and get
to
the
work
money.
for it. Yeah.
But kids don't do that because they'll hassle and moan and sulk and huff and puff and do what they do in order to get what they want.
We done that as kids, but then we still at the end of the day didn't work, did it? Like there was nothing there, so
they asked me because I have you pay Christmas today. Yeah, you don't have no more then, isn't it? Like you don't need 2 or 3 packs of crisps a day.
Nah.
Like you don't need 2 or 3 chocolate bars a day.
But you know what? We didn't eat 2 or 3 packet of crisps for lots of reasons, but the main reason was we weren't ever in the yard, were we? Like,
that's true. Always out.
That's what I'm saying.
You eat another packet of crisps at 7 o'clock. You weren't at the house at 7 o'clock.
Boredom. I think my children only eat all that rubbish and dinner. Boredom.
Yeah.
They get off the computer they're bored and they just go, oh, can I start to eat? They just not because they're hungry. It's just all boredom, and because it's there.
Yeah.
You kind of like I thought like even the other day I thought oh, I'm not going to, but I thought, get some locks with these covers or something. Kids don't appreciate enough, and they think that money grows on trees.
My
They
daughter's the
think
worst
that.
for it, by the way.
Do you know
My
what?
16-year-old, this girl, man, she think everything's free to her.
Yep.
She think everything is free. She don't realise petrol, personal taxi riders drink petrol's nothing.
Yeah.
Cars nothing. Every time it's Dad, can you?
I'm not looking
like,
forward to
you
my
need to
daughter
get a
getting
job,
parents. I don't know how I'm
bro.
going to be able to say no to my daughter. That.
You're going into the world now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're
have
at an
to
age
learn.
now where you're going into the world. You can't just expect things. You got to work for things.
But then you still give it there as a parent. There, you still like. Although you try front, you give in, man.
I don't.
You give in sometimes, man.
I'm evil T, man. Honestly, I must be bad. Honestly. My daughter asks me for stuff all the time. I say to her, sorry, man.
Here's
Sorry.
the fact: kids respect the boundary. They might not tell you that, but they respect the boundary. If they know where you stand, wherever it is you stand, if they know you're always going to stand there, they're going to respect that. So if you're always
So
strict with
I
them,
truly think my
they're not going to hate you
16-year-old
for all of a sudden being strict.
respects me more than she does her mum.
Yeah.
When I say that I've seen the messages and the way she talked to her mum, I
Yeah.
said, why you never talk to me like that? No. It's because you know.
Yeah. I hear that.
Do you know what I mean?
I used to think to my parents, they were just stingy, man. Like, I used to see my next brethren have a nice pair of trainers, or having a computer, or having something. I never had that, and I used to be jealous of it, like vexed of it. Like, I sit there and think, that's not fair, man. So and so's got that, man. What can I have that? And but now,
When you think about it, you always just think, why has my white friends got more stuff that I got? No, being real, like I always used to see what some of my friends like. I'd be with my boy, like I'd have always a different set of friends. Let's be real, I had a different set of friends. So I had my boys that I grew up with, and I had other friends that associates. Let's say associates because I don't roll with them no more.
Yeah.
But I always used to think, when I'm with my boys, we used to keep it real.
Yeah.
We all knew times were hard and things like that.
Yeah.
But
But do you
when
know
I
what
went
it
and
is?
rolled with the other friends, they had everything. They
When
had
you roll
computer
with
game, they had
us,
this, they
we're
had
all
money, they
coming
had
from the
food.
same place, aren't we? We're
Yeah.
all coming from that same socio-economic kind of place. That's why we were together in the same area or whatever.
Yeah.
But then your friends that are not black are coming from all other types of heights and
Yeah,
schools.
yeah, yeah.
And so it's different, isn't it? Like, but we don't get it twisted. A lot of the white guys I grew up with were the same broke like us. Because
Yeah.
we were in the same area.
It must have
the
been because I
same
went
school.
Coppleston, boy, but them boys were born in
But it's
Coppleston.
more about
man.
where you're from.
But yeah, it's and I think financially they were a lot more. They had more opportunities than us. Our generation and our family had to move from where they came from in order to come to make a better life for themselves. Whereas these people already had that good life, so they had the opportunity to do that. So
There's no way, if I've had 20 generations of living in this country, that when it comes to me turning 21, my mum ain't going to go, oh, here's 15 grand to get started,
Yeah.
go and borrow, put a deposit on
Yeah.
the house,
Yeah.
as I saw people, you know, of our
Yeah.
generation,
They
our
should do that.
friends having.
Yeah.
And I don't hate them for that, that's what should happen.
No,
but
of course, I can't hate
the
them
reason
for it.
is we haven't had that, we've got our feet in that yet. We're not there. But
Nah.
hopefully,
I think we're getting there.
That's gonna happen.
I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
I think we're building that foundation now. Like when we're starting to, I think we're starting to realise that generational wealth has to be there. I think my parents didn't realise that. My parents and that came here before. I wanted a better life, or my grandparents and their generation came over before. I wanted a better life, so they came over here, worked in order to survive and provide
eat.
for their family to eat.
Yeah.
They didn't think
To have
about.
a place.
They never thought about the generation coming after them. That was like, we need to do this and provide for my immediate family, my
now.
children, the now.
Yeah.
How many of you at 16 was thinking about a house though? I weren't.
No,
I didn't even know what that was. I wasn't
No.
thinking about a house.
no, I wasn't thinking about 16.
Buying a
bro.
house. It
I was
just
thinking
seems
about
huge.
gal
It
and
seems-
money and partying, bro. That's
Yeah,
what I was thinking about.
Yeah, it just seems
If
too-
that was if because I don't have them, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, we didn't have those conversations with our parents.
parents, no.
But if they planted them kind of seeds in your head, do you not think you'd have thought about that earlier?
Yeah.
That's
Do you
one
know what I
thing
mean?
I do with
So that's why I try to get to her now, thinking
Yeah.
all these things that I've learned and grown through over the years. If that would have been told to me,
You'd be
Leave
hard.
it now, do you know what I mean?
I personally believe it. If I had the education and guidance that I know, the knowledge that I know now,
that was passed,
I'd be flying right now.
Yeah,
I'd be
that
flying
was passed
because
to us.
I'm hearing you lot talk. I'm thinking about everyone we know, all of our people who we know,
yeah.
black men that we know, and everyone is concerned about their kids. Everyone's a parent. Everyone's thinking about their kids, doing things in their everyday life to help their kids or
Yeah.
to teach their kids. So where does this image of black men come from? Because I'm looking around and I don't see none. And
Listen,
all I've
I
got
know.
is black
Listen,
friends.
listen.
Yeah, I hear that.
So what's going on?
I look at sometimes, like, and I'll be real. Like sometimes, like I do I do a lot for my children. I try to spend a lot of time with my children and do stuff like that. But I don't think I do. Like sometimes I feel like I don't do enough in it.
Yeah, I hear ya.
So I look at some of my friends. I look at some of my friends.
Like people just
social
putting
media,
like,
all of that.
Yeah, I think it is a friend.
I don't put nothing on my social media about my kids or nothing. What for?
Nah, I don't put nothing on it.
They're my memories, man. I'm not gonna share them with the whole world for
Stand
you.
once in a while. You got to stand once in a while.
I don't put nothing on mine either.
Nah, man.
But
I
I just
got
think,
all on my phone. I just leave my pictures on my phone. I don't need to post.
but I
it
can
to the world.
honestly say, like my friend
Yeah.
circle, I don't think there's anyone in my friend circle who doesn't do anything for their children.
And do you know what? If there was one out of 15 black guys you know,
So what?
then that's one,
That's
right?
one.
That's one out of
That's nowhere
15,
near a
right?
majority.
That's
So
one.
how have we got this reputation? Why are people surprised when they see a 30-something black man looking after his kids? Because they are.
I think society and
The mentality ain't changed from the years.
people tend to tarnish you as something in order to bring you down, and I think we take the brunt of the few people who don't look after their children.
Mm-hmm.
People then think everyone's the same. There's some people, don't get me wrong, there's some people who are just shit.
Course.
That's in it.
Yeah,
Because
course.
they haven't matured or they have not in the right place at the right time and what they want to do. But it's also some parents who try their hardest to do what they can do, but they don't have the backing,
Yeah.
the financial, the people around them in order to be the best as that they can. Like, I'll put my hands up. There's been times where I know I could have been probably better at times, but I can put my hand on my heart and say that the times that I wasn't is because I just couldn't be. Do you think, like, I don't think anyone wakes up and thinks, I want to be a shit dad, or I don't want to be able to do certain things, like, you know, whether it's okay, do you know what? I can't have my child this weekend because I need to work, because I need to put food on the table, or whatever it is. You know, there's been times where you can always do more, can't you? The typical stereotype of a black man, you have to be that. It's how the society
I
is.
feel like I'm fighting that. And do you know what I hate? Because a lot of the stereotypes I fit into. Like, I like music, I make music, I hate the fact that I do that.
Yeah.
Whenever I watch one of these TV
When you
shows,
dress,
right,
etc.
when I dress, the
Yeah,
things I
things-
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm going to say? Come dine with me or something like that, right? Whatever. You know when there's a black man on there, he's going to be a rapper or something
Yeah.
in the spare
Yeah, yeah.
time. Or,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate that because
Yeah.
that just pulls me
And he's going to cook Caribbean food or whatever it is. Yeah.
I'm not any less black because I don't do certain things that the stereotype fits. Those
Yeah.
stereotypes are not the stereotypes of a black person. They're the stereotypes of a black person through the eyes of someone else.
Yeah.
Until you're within a circle
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you see all
Yeah.
the different types of people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
us three sitting in this room,
Yeah.
we're nothing alike.
No.
Like we
Yeah.
don't fit any.
Nah.
We have things in common
Nah.
that makes us friends, but
Nah.
we don't.
Well, I
fit
was
those
at work
things,
one
you
day and I
know
was
what
playing classical music and someone looked at me like,
Huh?
and I was like, I started to put it on just to relax me.
Yeah.
You listen to sort of music, do you?
Yeah.
Why not then?
Would you so listen to this sort of music, you know?
What am I saying to me? Like,
Oh no.
you know, talent's talent. If I like something, I like something. It doesn't
Yeah.
make, you know, like, my music, like, don't get me wrong, I have my preference. So, like, reggae would be my probably number one. Then it would be, like, hip-hop, R&B and that. But I can listen to anything. Like, I listen to Nirvana, to Oasis, to whatever it is. If I like it, I like it. I'm not that bothered, do you know what I mean? But people will look at you and think, rah. And that's just facts.
I always, I mean, I'm pulling up something stupid now. Whenever I go away like with my missus or we talk about going somewhere, I always say, is there black people there?
Yeah.
I always say it. I always say it.
Yeah, you have to. It has to be. Yeah.
Is there black
It has to
people
feel
there?
safe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has to feel like someone's popped their head above the parapet before you, and then they've tasted the food and made
Yeah.
sure it's safe for you to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not in the literal sense, in the figurative sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that, but I kind of think to myself though, am I overthinking it? Because it gets to that point where it becomes all will consume you and just become all you talk about. Like, I don't know if they like me in here, or if I should be here. Or if, you know, I'm trying to think of scenarios of being, because I do feel like I'm in them scenarios quite frequently. But is it just us now that we've experienced so much of it? It now becomes our only experience.
I guess it is quite unconsciously. I guess it is, because I think sometimes we just don't understand that. Then we just your unconsciousness just comes to the forefront of things, so you just tend to just feel a certain way or act a certain way. But I kind of feel that society has made me feel that way.
Do you know what? It's a local thing. We live in a town there's not a large
multicultural.
Not a lot of black people in this town.
No.
On scale.
Yeah.
But when I lived in London, I never used to feel like that.
I'd like to be in a place where it didn't matter who I was around, I'd feel comfortable. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't matter what race or people I was around, that you felt like you were accepted and you could just feel comfortable. So the way that we can just flow and have a conversation with man them and that, if I go into a work environment, I'm trying to act a certain way, or I don't feel comfortable that I am feeling comfortable right now. Like, that would be nice, wouldn't it? It's never gonna happen though.
Maybe.
I don't think. I look at people like Stormzy, Lewis Hamilton, those sort of figures, Anthony Joshua, them sort of figures like that.
Yeah.
Right. They're getting pushed, they're getting promoted, they're there. But me personally, I look at it and think, they're just puppets, man. In order to tick a few boxes. Like...
But you know what it also says to the black people watching, like your kids, my kids, whoever, is you see Anthony Joshua and all them as the representative for black people.
Yeah.
It kind of tells you you've got a tap dance to be in the room. Like you've got to have some special talent to be welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not like the postman ain't just sitting there. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be super powered to be.
Yeah, you have.
So then it kind of pushes you a bit further away from the situation even more. Like, well, I ain't tap dancers. I'm not Superman. So how am I going to be involved in these? And
at schools they didn't say so and so is not this or not that. They're not that. They're still trying to promote Black History Month. You know what I mean? Like
they're not. Listen, the whole of October passed, right?
Yeah,
and I don't want to go on about Black History Month too much because
Yeah.
I always do. It's just one of the things I work in education, but my son goes to a high school in Ipswich.
My son too.
It weren't mentioned once. Black History Month wasn't mentioned, and he knows to look out for it because my son, he lives with me. He understands. We talk about Black history. We talk about our culture, and everything. And so I always ask him, any Black history today? No. Every day of the month wasn't mentioned.
At your son's school?
Wasn't mentioned.
Wow, my son's school got Black History Month.
Yeah. Weren't mentioned.
He got put on TV. My youth was on TV too,
TV, man. So TV.
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. So I saw that in the paper.
Yeah.
On the telly. No, it wasn't mentioned in this high school. It wasn't.
Wow.
A conversation.
I'll be complaining, you know. Black History Month, you ain't taught the children nothing about Black history.
We've got a whole month and you can't mention it. Can't even say, it's Black History Month and move on. Not even that.
Wrong, man.
Not even that. So, what are we going to do then? So, are we going to have, during lockdown, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to keep doing podcasts or do you want to do live? I think it's an interesting
Someone
thing.
asked me for a live podcast, you know. They want an interactive kind of podcast.
Okay.
I think it's been brought up before by T.
Yeah.
So
I think podcasts should continue, but I'd like I said, I think to get the public interactively involved will be very good. So
cool. Well, that's how we're gonna end it here. We're gonna try and get you involved more.
yeah,
so
definitely, man. It'll be fun.
on YouTube, make sure you like, comment,
subscribe.
and where the keys at is out. Peace.
Peace.